When we were kids, we dreamed of the Wild West. We saw actors in 10-gallon hats roaming desert lands on dusty horses. We wanted to touch and see the wild for ourselves. We thought one day we'd be exploring distant lands and worlds, leaving the places we breathe easy, in order to walk in places no man has breathed before. And yet, we grew up in a world of charted territories. Where could we go that hasn't already been discovered? So why go? Why venture to places already traveled? If we listen hard enough, there's a faint whisper calling us to wild places. And just like that, we became wanderers.
Score still the same? Yeah. Oh, yeah, 17.
We thought one day we would be astronauts exploring outer space, planting flags on distant moons, our own version of Neil Armstrong. Maps littered our classroom walls. Pictures of the remotest places lay comfortably on the pages of textbooks. Where could we go that hasn't already been discovered? And suddenly, we men became boys again, exploring the wild west of our dreams. Standing on cliff edges and shouting into canyons, grasping at cameras, hoping to not miss a single snowflake falling into forgotten pines.
Jump! Oh, that is. An hour and a half to Kanab, that's it. Which is where we would probably stay the night before going to Zion. Until we're like, okay, that's good, and then we'll just drive towards Bryce, and we'll just, because I think like stuff like we missed today, if it had been in the middle of the day, we would have stopped, took pictures, shot that stuff.
Why I think
tomorrow.
So I think we gotta like take advantage of the night. On the wrapper it says the top is not microwave or ovenable.
All right.
Oh, those are pre-done, or I thought.
No, yes, this is already cooked. It just needs to be warmed up.
Easy foil casserole.
Oh, our easy foil cake pans safe for use in the microwave. Oh, there's no answers. Seriously?
You know why? Because you just need to do it. 20 seconds.
That's why I think aluminum is okay.
The road is a sponge. With every passing mile marker and billboard, it soaks up the worry of work. And for a moment, even just a moment, the tough questions get left behind at the last gas station.
Oh, you mean down the trail?
Yeah.
Yeah, looks like it.
Oh, you know, that's pretty funny that I'm like the auto I tried to edit photos after my buddy.
Yours, right? Andrew?
Mine's
You're standing there in laser face.
It's amazing.
Hashtag laser face.
I don't understand light at all half the time. Like I feel like I don't know what the hell's going on. That kind of stuff.
Does anybody really? Kid, that's so inspiring. Are you probably?
Our dreams of leaving home have taken a backseat so many times. We forget these dreams were still passengers somewhere in our souls. What if this time we actually took a step forward to the unfamiliar, making new stories? What truth might be hidden if we just press a little further? Our pictures will never do it justice. We reduce the creation of God into megapixels and try to convince those back home of its magnitude. How does one contain a mountain in a single frame? In a world of words, there are places where words won't do. If we climb these cliffs for 100 years, would there still not be portions untraveled? Why would God choose to make beauty here so impossible for us to fathom? And yet, He invites us to know Him, the maker of the mountain, the maker of the snow-covered trees and frozen waterfalls, the maker of desolate places.
Yeah?
Jay Worsley was walking on the cliffside, and he almost died, yeah, died. He slipped and fell and caught himself by a rail just barely. But then I ran over and grabbed him by his hoodie and pulled him up. He needs to thank me for saving his life.
Thank you.
Yes, he does. Chelsea Worsley, you can thank me too.
Oh, that's the end of the song? Alright.
Dedicated to the time. It wasn't long before I called you mine. Yeah, yeah. since you've been gone. I can't breathe for the first time. I'm so moving on. Yeah, yeah. Thanks to you. Now I get what I want. I feel my face when I'm with you. But I love it. But I love it. And I know she'll be the death of me. These will both be.
There's another man in each of us, begging us to take the less traveled road, to begin again, to lay aside American dreams for our own dreams. And to save the beaten path for another day. If we were meant to stay put, would not God given us roots instead of legs? In our 100 years of exploring creation, there will be wonders still unnoticed. If we cannot comprehend the simple works of His hand, how big might His hand be?
We're gonna hit 70 and then curve around east towards Arches and Moab and then hit Telluride at some
Are
point.
you gonna hit Goblin Valley or?
I don't think so.
I have a feeling we're not even gonna get to Arches today. So.
Yeah, we
Well,
just keep
it's a
stopping.
blessing to just meet people like this. 'Cause
Absolutely.
Yeah, totally.
Sure.
It's fun. It's, you know, that's part
Find
of.
yourself, you find yourself.
That's it. Yep. Showing it good. Showing it hot. Making it good. Staying open. Open for business.
The more we drive, and the more flags we plant, we realize we will never go back to simple roads. How can you recover from the sight of 1,000 canyons, and from the sight of the earth jutting out like a ship cutting the desert waves? From calm waters carving massive canyons on their way south, and from the joy of brothers on those late nights.
Hours last year to get that. Was it 2 nights we tried to get it? Or
Yeah, that was
That
forever.
was a good quiz, though.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Should we play a different deck?
You rocked that, man.
That's not really at all. Should I skip it? It's not. It's not.
what are you talking about?
Dance with you?
We chase comfort. We crave nostalgia. The reminiscing of old memories. We cling to the familiar in hopes to ease into eternity full of breath of scareless bodies. But without risk, we see the past as best. We love the ease of not moving. And so we keep moving, making new stories. This is our new reminiscence. When you leave, you never return as before. The man washing the grass stains out of his jeans and the mud from his boots can never go back to being the man carefully packing his things for the journey ahead. The anxious packer becomes the patient wanderer. The anxious, studied astronaut becomes the man who walked the moon.
There's no jumping off the cliff. How are you?
How you doing?
Doing good.
Good.
Marty.
Marty, I'm Jason. Thanks, Marty. Mike. Good to meet you.
Hey,
Marty.
Hey, look at you. So,
awesome.
anyway,
That's
you
great.
guys, are you into recreation or anything? Just scenic things? Because this place is outrageous. It's fantastic.
No, this is just mind-blowing.
I know.
We came through Ouray, so that was really incredible
Ouray.
town.
Well, the thing is, read up on Chief Ouray if you haven't read up on Chief Ouray.
okay.
Google it.
But you know what? The best time to go is summertime.
Yeah.
Even though it might be hot, there's all kinds of hiking, short hikes to different places.
And finally, after countless sunsets and painted canyons, our hungry eyes begin to take in the fog drifting over the sleepy farm to market roads. And we realize for the past few days we were in the Wild West. Not someone else's fiction, but our own uncharted Wild West. A journey always begins by leaving the familiar. And what was once a whisper has grown to a full voice call to be wild. So in order to not be tamed, we men set out on aimless journeys, seeking desolate places. Calling what was once found lost, and what was once lost discovered.
Mormon or LDS or you?
No.
We're actually all just non-denominational Christian.
Sure. Oh, well, that's good.
C'est la vie, la magnifique. Magnifique.